Joseph Crudup here. Welcome to the Joseph Crudup Show. Today is Monday, June the 5th, 2023. We're here to talk about last night's NBA Finals in Game 2 between the Heat and the Nuggets. Well, just when we think the Nuggets going up 2-0, think again. The Heat have bounced back last night. And hadn't been looking back in as also as usual as always. I can't even tell you what's going on. The Heat have been on the rise since then, and they are in business after that going back and forth last night. It's actually unbelievable. And just like I gotta say this, holy cow! You get the bet. It's gonna be a good series this postseason in the NBA Finals. So, what did the Heat did last night? Well, they bounced back last night. They had a lot of stuff going on, and how this is all going. It's happening for us, and it just goes to show you what it's up to now, man. What it's up for everybody, and now it has been just like this and that. But now we're gonna go to let's go to take a look at what happened. As we always know that this is what Coach Eric Spoelstra knows what he's talking about. When he's talking about is this and that, just a little bit of fun. Now, the Heat tied the series and they won 111 to 108 after the missed shot. Morey, who had this game tied and overtime with just 3 seconds remaining, 2 seconds remaining here in the fourth. Jimmy Butler was there. Okay, but let's see what happens. And this is all. Oh my gosh, I'm getting so sleepy right now. I have been working all day. So now let's see what happens first. And look, now you do think what is happening here first? And it's going on. It's on and on. Yes, it has been. Now the Nuggets didn't survive. They didn't go 2-0. Heat did. So now the Heat take game 2 last night, and it says after dropping the first game of the NBA Finals to the Denver Nuggets, the Miami Heat bounced back in a big way in game 2, thanks largely to a 36-point fourth quarter. The Heat were able to pull out a 111 to 108 victory in order to tie the series up at 1 and still home court advantage away from Denver. The Heat upped the level of intensity in Game 2 as they got solo contributions up and down the roster. However, it also seems like there were perhaps definite 5 points after 2 questionable calls in the second half of the contest. The first one came early in the third quarter, while the Heat were in the midst of mounting a comeback after trailing by 6 at halftime. Jimmy Butler drove into the paint, collapsed the defense, and kicked a pass out to the perimeter to a wide open Gabriel Vincent. Vincent, who knocked down the triple as he has been doing all postseason. But upon crucially reveal, it looks like Butler stepped out of bounds before delivering the pass to Vincent. As a result, the play should have been called dead as soon as Butler stepped out of the bench line, but the West missed it, and the Heat got 3 points as a result. The second questionable call came with just over 4.5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter when Bam Butler blocked a floating attempt by Jamal Murray. The block was called clean on the floor, but the ball appeared to be past its apex and Umbala made contact with it, which means it should have been called in goaltending and Denver should have been awarded 2 points. Now, with a 3 that counted for Miami and a 2 that should count but didn't for Denver, those 2 plays give the Heat 5 points that didn't technically deserve in a game that was ultimately decided by 3 points. Cons aside, the top post game had more to do with energy, eff- effort, and overall level of play. Denver had double-digit leads at multiple points in the game, but could never get that separation from Miami. Now, said Nugget coach Michael Malone, we just will not nail it at discipline as you need to be in the NBA Finals. So we're talking about this and that for us, and just like this, and ladies and gentlemen, I mean, those are the cards that you contend here. That is not too. That is not. There's no question that the that the refs had missed 2 cards. The refs couldn't see it. 2 cards, 2 missed, 2 bad cards. What is happening? Well, that should have been a goaltending, and the Nuggets should have been awarded by 2 points. So anyway, it is what it is, and just like that, it does matter. Well, the Heat, they won the game and they tied the series. Okay, so now El Sposo is the Heat. Now let's go to the SB Nation that says El Sposo is the Heat's biggest cheat code in NBA Finals. Now take a look at this. Here's what's going to happen. Now here's what has happened, and what you just know, what you need to know. It says, if you force me to define what I think makes a good coach in this modeling league, my answer will be regular flexibility. It's a paradox that demands being able to hold 2 things in your head at the same time. To understand true confidence ideals can be true. Through true dogmatic, live and die by the same double eagle sword. If you count miserable players, coach with no fits in godly or opposing to the game, you might end up underperforming with a talent squad and getting let go by the Philadelphia 76ers. The most potential cocktail of bench leadership is the photographer with no ego, the architect who can mock up blueprints on the fly, the series artist who respects standards and restrictions and can edit the ingredients on demand. In other words, it's the 28-year terminal employee of the Miami Heat, Eric Spoelstra. Coach Sports Coach Sports is exporting in a product that more balls the unstate and it's in the unstate Northwestern New York in Buffalo is even reporting that Pat Riley's Oscar still tells a scared time, which opposes as sports store is the discipline who was falling in his military remains and taking his Pentecostal to its power extreme. Well, the hero of heat culture, which dates back to the 80s Lakers team, that eventually got sick at him and quit on him, was about Pat Riley's fuss as early as in the early to mid 90s Nets fan can attest. He was both a Panama suit wearing, hair slicking and putting on the sideline, soaking it up credit, and an unfiltered detail that demands everything from his teams and give back nothing. Sportstar is the true believer. He took the good and worthwhile talent from the conditioning test and body fat measuring BS and turning into the visual sacrifice, one that he doesn't just demon from his players, but himself. We focus on all the one things when we talk about sports star. In classic American fashion, the first line in his argument will likely read that he was the first Asian American head coach to win a championship in the full major North American sports. But he's the best count number baby with a bloodline as pedigree and connecting as in you find the lead. His Dutch Irish father, George Bushler, was a Notre Dame graduate who would start working in marketing for the Buffalo Braves, then was the Trailblazers general manager for 10 years, and then ended up as president for the Nets for the currently in the 90s. John's father, Washington, was a college basketball player and career sports writer. Both men sounded like they were intellectually hardness. The fruits of the labor, their labor, this field department, do anything interested who came as a player coach for elbow ball and went on to secure Pat Riley. So we're going to start this right there now. I'm supposed to know us, and I mean, know that when he first a coach, well, when he was a coach of the Miami Heat. Well, back in the, well, anyway, know about that. So now, we're going to skip that. So now, what we're doing right now is we're going to go over this right now, and yeah. We take a look at the numbers. And now we're going to the anyway. Now take a look at this. Here's what I'm going to show you. This is what the fans are going to be selling and going to be held about now. Now NBA fans will move to tears by Shaq's heartfelt message for Charles Barkley. Now, Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley had a charisma that can be matched by a select few in the sports media industry. Basketball fans might be able to thank Barkley's mom for that. Speaking after Game 2 of the NBA Finals last night, O'Neal shared that his and Barkley's mother has the sweetest friendship and that a phone call he received from Barkley's mom may have contributed to the pair's strong relationship all these years together. His mom and my mom had the sweetest friendship, and I didn't even know, O'Neal said. I used to hate Charles. We were getting ready to get into a fight, and before I could get to the locker room and put my clothes on to go down into the locker room and see him, I got a call from his mother. He said, "Don't you hit my boy." And I was like, "Who is this?" After explaining why, he says, "I never seen shut speechless. Love their brotherly bond," Charlotte said. They are the best, been there and done that. West TNT was doing the finals, Luke wrote. And I really, really respect it. I really respect the NBA fans. I really respect O'Neal and Barkley. And I really respect Charles Barkley's mother. That's obviously not so. It's a great feeling. So now game 3 will be Wednesday. And it is what it is. So I can tell you that it's going to be a fun series. What about the NHL game? Stanley Cup final. Game 2 tonight. Las Vegas Golden Knights lead 1-0 over the Florida Panthers. It's going to be the great series. Now, can the Florida Panthers bounce back? I can never tell about this. We'll find out. And I'll tell you about that tomorrow, right here on the Joseph Crudup Network. But I gotta say this now: the Heat and the Nuggets are tied the series one piece, and yes, it has. It's like everybody, and what I do know is what it is. But what happened on Wednesday night when they go to Miami, and Miami will be at home, and they're gonna beat the Nuggets 2-0 the series in Game 4. I don't know, but we're trying to find out what's going on, what's happening. So anyway, so as I just said, Game 3 is Wednesday night on ABC. 2023 ABA Finals continues, and it's gonna be right here at 8:30. And I will see you then. Until then, I'm Joseph Crudup. Please subscribe this video, like me on YouTube, and see it live. Live stream. Joseph Crudup live at 5 o'clock, maybe 5:05, whatever. Until then, I'm Joseph Crudup. I'll see you tomorrow.